So, leaving Buffalo, we get up the ass crack of dawn to head to Chicago because it's a 10-hour drive, and that's without stops. And I have a bladder the size of a pea, so we're stopping at least every 2 hours. Um, so we get up and we decide we're gonna go drive to Niagara Falls because we're in Buffalo. Like none of us have seen Niagara Falls, so we were really stupid to not go. So we go and we check out the American side. And we're like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's check out the Canadian side because it's a 2-second drive. The only thing is, they want you to pay $18 to park on the Canadian side. We didn't have Canadian money because we didn't bother to stop because we're like, I don't need money for it. We're just going to take some pictures and leave. So we didn't park. So basically, it was me driving along as we're looking and then parking in a spot really quick with that had a meter while they stayed in the car and I went and snapped some pictures. So, that was a little underwhelming. Would have been cooler if we could park and take pictures of the good section, but it was fun. Niagara Falls is quite large. So cross back into the States, start driving to Chicago. Cornfields. It felt like we were in Indiana for longer than I've been alive. And it got to the point, at one point we were driving along and Dark Blue by Jack's Mannequin came on, and we changed the lyrics, so it was, every time we said Dark Blue, we said cornfields. So it was cornfields, cornfields, have you ever been alone in a creepy cornfield? Well, I'm here with you, and then, later on it says something like, and the world will burn down till there's nothing but cornfields. Because there were so many fucking cornfields. Oh my god. And then what made it worse, is the GPS was telling us our time of arrival, which was fine and dandy, except it was telling us our time of arrival in Central Time. You don't cross into Central Time until maybe an hour before you hit Chicago. So we're like, oh, okay, we only got a couple hours left. And then we're like, what the fuck? We're not there yet. So then we had to change it to time, how much time it was going to take to get there, as opposed to, when we would get there. So, we crossed over the bridge. This is welcome to Chicago. We're all like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then we hit 7 lanes of traffic, which was terrifying. Because, like I said, we live an hour outside of Boston. There's not a lot there. We sure as shit don't have 7 lanes of traffic going all in one direction. Thankfully, Amber, who is, my Sergei Bobrovsky's, is a master at driving in horrifying traffic. Because she might get a little road ragey and panicky, but she drives like a boss. Meanwhile, Goalie's man, Veronica, and I are freaking out. So yeah, we get there, and once we get into the city, it's actually not that bad. It's not too crowded. People actually know how to drive. It's not like driving in Boston, where you're convinced someone's going to hit you every 2 seconds. So we get to our hotel, and we're looking around, and we're like, where the hell did we park? Is this even the right building? I'm confused. So I go in, and there's a guy at the desk, and he looks confused. He's like, can I help you? And I was like, is this the hotel? And he's like, no, it's on the other side of the wall, up 15 stories. And I'm like, what the hell, the first, whatever, okay. So I go all the way up and ask him how to park, and the guy there doesn't really know because it's a brand new parking area, apparently. He's like, oh, I don't drive in the city. I'm like, well, I would hope not. You live in the city. That would be stupid. Public transportation is your friend. So I go back down and talk to the doorman, and he goes, oh, where's your car now? And I point to it. He goes, you guys have been sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I know. I went all the way up to the 15th floor to ask him, and he goes, oh, chap, no. See that little thing right there? You just go down there, and that's the parking garage. Of course it is. Of course it is. You need help with your luggage? No, we're good. Thank you. We're fine. So we get all of our stuff and we go and check in, and at one point we were in the hotel. I don't remember what day it was. We were in our Blackhawk stuff, and this guy goes, oh, are you guys going to the game? And we're like, oh, yeah, are you? And he goes, yeah, we're going to the game too. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, oh, so are you from Chicago? He goes, oh, no, I'm from Rockford. It's about an hour and a half out. And I'm like, I know exactly where Rockford is. And they're all looking at me. I'm like, Chicago's baby team plays there. I know exactly where that is. Don't judge me. So then he's like, oh, so are you guys from Chicago? And we're like, no, we're from Maine. And he's like, why are you Hawks fans? But then like the door dinged and we all left, and so that was kind of funny. We actually saw them later at the game. I sure wasn't gonna be like, hey, we're the awkward people that we talk in the elevator, and I'm the one that knows exactly where you live. Creepy. But anyway, so that happened. When we got the hotel, we specifically asked for a room with a view. Because if you're going to be in a skyscraper, why not be in a skyscraper with a view? Am I right? We got a view of the rest of the hotel. It's set up so there's like a courtyard in the middle, and like you can see the pool, and then everybody else's rooms. With like tiny tips of like 2 or 3 buildings. So that was kind of annoying. The room smelled very strongly of paint, like enough to give you like a headache. They cut off our Wi-Fi a day early. The paint was peeling, and there were weird spots on the ceiling. And there was an outlet that was super crooked, and normally that wouldn't be such a big deal, but when you're slightly OCD and you've already had a rough day and your hotel's kind of shitty, that annoys the crap out of you. Crooked outlet. But the people there were super nice, really great. Ages ago, I asked Brent Seabrook's hair what to do when in Chicago, and she told me to go to one of 2 pizza places. So we went to Lou's, and it was delicious. It was funny because when we were ordering, she's like, you know that pizza serves 2 people, right? We were just like, yeah, we know. And in my head, I'm thinking, sweetheart, we're fat chicks. We've been in a car for 10 fucking hours. Trust me, we'll eat most of it. Whatever we don't eat, we'll take home. It's fine. But, so we get the food. The food is really good. We go back, go to sleep. The next day was interesting, so we'll get to that in the next one.